I'm Samer. I've been in a few community groups through the years, and my experience in a couple of those groups was drastically different. Crazy as it sounds, it wasn't the leader or even the people in the group that made the difference. It was something I chose to do. Here's what I mean. I signed up for my first group about 8 years ago, and maybe some of you are in a group for the first time right now. Well, to be honest, it wasn't something I was too excited about. I mean, I showed up pretty regularly, but I didn't think much about group in between meetings. For me, being in a group was really about checking off that box. It's what I was supposed to do. So for me, it was just the bare minimum. While I was in the group, I never really made an effort to be a part of the group. I didn't talk to or hang out with the other guys outside of Tuesday nights, and I definitely wasn't praying for them. Sometimes I'd read the book that we were studying, and sometimes I wouldn't, and just faked my way through the discussion. Now, honestly, most weeks I just showed up, ate the snacks, rolled my eyes when the same guy talked the whole time week after week. It was fine, but I wouldn't say I experienced much spiritual growth. And it pretty much stayed like that until one night, our group leader kind of got vulnerable. He opened up and shared some things he'd been struggling with as a single guy. And I remember he got emotional. It kind of caught me off guard, but something cool happened that night. We all rallied around him and we prayed for him. Well, our leader opening up gave me the courage to finally open up about my story and some things I'd been dealing with. And I'm so glad I did, because they encouraged me and they prayed for me and they supported me. I started to see group a little differently. In fact, the temperature of our group began to change in the best possible way. Our group had hit uncharted territory. We started connecting and hanging out outside of Tuesday nights. I began to regularly check in with a few of the guys. I even stood in as a groomsman in one of their weddings. And I eventually came to realize that the problem was never my group, it was me. So in each group I've been in since that one, I just decided to do things differently, to give it a little more effort. I tried to get to know everyone, to remember what was going on and ask about it. I sent a text to one of the guys when he had a big client presentation coming up. We all helped when one of them tore his ACL and couldn't get around. I stopped viewing group as just something I did on Tuesday nights. I spoke up during discussion because I actually did the studies this time. And we talked about real stuff. I tracked along with these guys and saw firsthand what God was up to in their lives. And you know what? That helped me see what God was up to in my own life. It was a way more worthwhile group experience because I started taking personal ownership. And it made all the difference for me. And it'll do the same for you. And I'm not the only one who's learned this. We've seen it happen over and over again. Ownership is pivotal to a great group experience. So we want you to own your group experience and own your spiritual growth. Owning your group experience includes all the things I got wrong the first time and all the things I got right the second time. It means making group a priority, be engaged, bring snacks, volunteer to host, and get to know each other better, even outside a group. Those seem like small things, but they create a space for life change to happen. As Andy said in the first session, there are things that can happen in a circle that can never happen in a row on Sunday morning. When great things happen, like when someone lands a new job or has a baby, or when hard times happen, like when someone gets a scary diagnosis or hits hard times financially, those things don't come up in a Sunday church service. But when you're in a circle, you have the chance to be there for each other, to bring dinner, send texts, and offer support, because you know what's happening in each other's lives. And getting off the sidelines and joining in is what owning your group experience looks like. It will take a little time and effort, and it may be a little awkward at first, but it's worth it. And if you make the effort, I think you'll find the same thing I did. Your group experience will be so much more worthwhile. And the other piece of ownership is owning your spiritual growth. Here's the bad news. No one can do this for you. But here's the good news. No one can do this for you. You own your spiritual growth. Your group members and leader will encourage you and support you, but the growth you experience doesn't depend solely on you or on how well everything goes with everyone else or how smart your leader is or even the studies you use. And remember, spiritual growth is a growing faith in God, validated by a growing love for God and others. Spiritual growth will come from identifying and taking next steps with the help of your group. When I opened up to my group about stuff that would have been way more comfortable to hide, they were able to step into it with me. They gave me advice, held me accountable, and pointed out that this circumstance really could grow my faith. And you know what? It did. The relationships in my group have helped me grow. And I've been able to help others too. I've watched guys finally admit and eventually conquer something they've been struggling with. I've listened while someone worked through what it looks like to be a Christian in a really cutthroat industry. And I've even seen a couple celebrate an answered prayer and welcome home a new baby. The crazy thing is, helping other people grow their faith grows yours too. I think that was part of God's design for us. And it's why we're so glad you've taken the step into community. The relationships in your group may be new, but they're intentional relationships. You each chose to be a part of this group. Now make the most of that choice by really owning your group experience and your spiritual growth. I didn't realize it back then, but the spiritual growth I missed out on in my first group experience wasn't my group's fault. It had nothing to do with our leader, it was on me. I was encouraged to show up